What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review, here to talk about Expedition X, Season 6, Episode 8. And this is the second of the two-parter that focuses on the region of Utah that is very well known for having skinwalkers and UFOs. The last episode kind of focused on the skinwalkers, which I'll admit, I was kind of creeped out. The whole hitchhiker thing, yeah, I was creeped out by that. The dude with the furry legs and everything. And even in this episode, they showed that his legs were like bending in a weird way. That was kind of weird. They did go back and say that some of the audio that they recorded was of coyotes, which, I mean, I think everybody kind of expected that. But this episode kind of transitioned, even though it was the second of two parts, this episode transitioned from kind of focusing on the skinwalkers to focusing more on the UFOs. And, this region of the United States has always been a UFO hotspot, and it turns out that this section of Utah has been exceptionally hot with UFOs. And I like the approach that Phil and Jessica took with the lasers and putting out a matched frequency and trying to see if they get any sort of response. Obviously, they didn't get lights in the sky or anything like that, but getting a reading on the RF that matched the frequencies that they were putting out, I thought that was compelling. I think that Phil is right. Jessica gets really excited, like, well, what are the odds of that happening? Well, the odds might be low, but it's still possible that the RV or anything else from their equipment was sending out a radio frequency that matched that. So I don't think it's proof that UFOs exist, but I also thought that that was compelling data. When they did their research on the barn that burned down and the crate that moved, I thought that was compelling. Again, the charred remains that they found kind of proves it was struck by lightning. So obviously, I don't know if some alien came in and started that fire. Obviously, the crate moving, that huge, giant crate moving, that's compelling. We also weren't there when it happened, so are we getting the whole truth on how that crate actually moved? I don't know the answer to that. But either way, it's a compelling side to the story. I really felt that this episode had this two-parter, actually, episodes 7 and 8, had great narrative. And even Phil says that he feels like this yielded the most evidence. But from my perspective, this was great narrative, great storytelling, but I don't think at the end of it I'm any closer to believing that skinwalkers or UFOs exist. That hitchhiker thing, that was weird. I'm gonna say it, that was weird. But was it a skinwalker? I don't know. I don't feel like this episode, this whole two-parter, made me believe that either one of these exist. Raises some questions, sure. Gives me a few things to think about, sure. But there was no conclusivity. Conclusionistic. Nailed it. Yeah, so I just don't know. I thought it was an entertaining two-parter. Is this the end of this season? I hope this isn't the end of the season. Be kind of a bummer to end on these two episodes. But if it is the end of the season, it'll be another year and a half before we get more, because that's how long it is between seasons. Guys, I like Phil and Jess. I think they're really entertaining. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Josh Gates. I'm actually going to see Josh Gates live here in a couple weeks. Pretty excited about that. But I don't know. I think there's other legends I'd rather see them tackle than the Skinwalker. The Skinwalker's been done to death, and UFOs have been done to death. I think there's a lot of... the United States is so full of urban legends and mythology and cryptids that there's a lot that I'd like to see them tackle if they haven't yet. What are some that you would like to see them search for? I don't know, I'll think about that. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But, yeah. Entertaining episodes, but didn't really reveal anything that makes me any closer to a believer than I already am. Remember, I am a skeptic who wants to believe. That's how I define myself. So I'm still a skeptic. I'm not any closer to believing, but it was fun, right? Fun couple episodes. So, what you guys think of this two-parter of Expedition X? Let me know in the comments below.